Hello cello players. In this video we are going to learn how to tune your cello. Now there's really good news about learning to tune your cello, and that is that it really isn't all that hard to do most of the time. Most of the time you'll just need to use your fine tuners to tune with down here on the tailpiece. And if you only need to use the fine tuners, then it's not that hard to do. If it's a little bit out of tune, that's usually what you'll experience with your strings being maybe just slightly out of tune. Now in the occasional times that your instrument is more out of tune, then you'll need to use the tuning pegs, and that's a bit harder to do, but we will go over that in this video as well. So there are some really good tools you can get online that will help you with the tuning procedure. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, there are a couple of them that I really like. One is called Pano Tuner, P-A-N-O Tuner, and that one is free unless you want to pay maybe a couple dollars and get the version that doesn't have the little advertisements up at the top. And another one that is quite good also, it's also free, it's called Sound Corset, and you'll be seeing that one a little bit later. But there are a number of other free apps that you can get for your smartphone or tablet. Most are either free or cost just a very small amount of money. And if you don't have a smartphone or a tablet, you can access a web page that has a good tuner that works really well. It's called tuner-online.com. tuner-online.com. So now Tricia, our little symphony registrar, and her son Kyle will give you a lesson on how to tune your cello and give you the basics on how to tune your cello.
Hello, my name is Tricia Bevins. I am the registrar of the Little Symphony, and I am here with my son Kyle, who's in the junior orchestra, and we are going to show you how to tune a cello. So maybe your instrument is a little bit out of tune and you haven't been able to play because it sounds really bad when you practice. We want to make sure that you can fix that. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to tune, and that is with an app on a smartphone, or there are also versions on the internet, and we'll get you the information about that in an email or something like that. So this app just shows kind of a range here. It will tell you what note you're listening to. I think it's been following my voice, so down here at the bottom it's going nuts trying to figure out what note I'm saying. But I'm going to have Kyle play his A string. Play your A string, Kyle. And I'm going to show you what is happening with this app. So you can see that it recognizes it's an A, but it's not in the right range. So, so take a look, Kyle, and see which way you need to turn it. So it's showing that it's flat.
Ouch.
So, Kyle's going to tune down here the fine tuners. Okay, can you do that? And I'm going to show him the app so that he can see.
I can't turn it right now. It's...
Oh, was it a little too loose or something? Better?
It's almost
yeah,
like
you can either, if you can reach, you can do it, or if you have a helper, you can do it as you're playing.
Yeah, what'd you do? Turn the top?
We may have actually turned it a little bit more out of tune on purpose so that we could show how this works.
See, honestly, I've never had it that out of tune before. That's like new.
That's
cello.
actually good news that Kyle has never had it this out of tune, and maybe you're in luck as well. I think that cellos and basses tend to not be quite so bad about getting out of tune. Just a tiny bit more. I'm going to get it just a tiny bit more. Okay, and I'm going to show you as he keeps playing. You can see that it tells you when it's really pretty close.
It's in the green.
When it's in the green, and it'll shine really, at least on this app. Okay, so why don't you tune your D string now?
D?
D, yep. This one was pretty close. I think I turned the...
Yeah, the D one doesn't really change that much when I turn it. for my cello.
That's pretty good. Okay, G. The G I think I may have messed with.
You messed with both the
Yeah,
A
I messed the
and
A and the
G.
G. Okay. Okay, and you can see
No, that's
here.
just... I'm hurt.
Okay, play the G. The string is resembling a G. Okay, that one's a little sharp, huh?
Let's turn it about 70 times.
Okay, don't go too far. There you go, much better. Okay, and then C. That's pretty good. Okay, what?
As the strings get bigger, they tend to stay in tune more.
Yeah, I think that's true. So if you have the C string is more likely to be closer to in tune than the A string or the D string, but they all can go out of tune. Well, if for some reason it's been a long time since you played, or maybe you bumped your instrument accidentally, then it can get really far out of tune, and then you might have to use the pegs up here. It's actually, if you're not used to it, it can be almost a little bit scary. You feel like maybe you need safety glasses to do it.
You do.
But anyway, if you have to do that, you just go really carefully and make sure that as you turn that you're pushing into the peg box. So on this side, you'll push in this way, and on this side, you'll push in this way, so that you make sure that you're getting that peg really solidly in there. Otherwise, it's going to slip and go back out of tune. Another thing that's really common is if it's been out of tune for a while, or if you just put new strings on, you're going to have to tune it more frequently, and it'll go out of tune even maybe even while you're tuning the other strings. You might see that happen. So the more you keep it in tune, the more it's going to stay in tune as well. It'll settle into the strings will stretch out and stay kind of more consistent. So just a couple other things about care of instrument. Make sure you keep your instrument out of the heat. Most kids know that already. Their teachers are really good at telling them that. But just to remind you, because we're getting into some nicer days, so don't leave it in the trunk of a car or in a sunny window. Make sure it's out of the heat and the sun. That'll help keep it in tune and also just keep it in better shape. The other thing that I want to just say in this time of everybody disinfecting things is don't try and disinfect your instrument. It's just not a good idea. I don't know any kind of cleaner that would be safe, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable recommending anything for that. So if your instrument is dirty, use a nice soft cloth without any kind of cleaner on it. Nothing that has water or any kind of liquid. So happy practicing.
Thank you, Tricia and Kyle. A lot of really great information there. One thing that Tricia mentioned was taking care of your cello, keeping it in an environment that is not too hot or too cold. And in addition to damaging the instrument, that can actually cause the instrument to go out of tune. It can cause the pegs to slip out to where you have to, like she had described, push it in and turn it back up. So really briefly, I'm going to talk about what you do if you have to do that. Now, because this is kind of the somewhat more difficult part of tuning, you might want to contact your teacher if your instrument gets to the point where you can't tune it with the tuner. Sometimes if you turn it all the way in or all the way out and you're still not in tune, that's another time when you might have to use the peg. So basically there's some important things to remember as you tune with the peg. One is to press it in as you turn, and turn it slowly, and be checking with your tuner, like your tuner on your smartphone or your tablet, during the time that you're tuning, because you want to raise the pitch just very slowly. You don't want to go up above the pitch that you're trying to get to. So always be monitoring to make sure you get right up to the pitch. And if you get up to where you're close to that, then what you would do then is tune it the rest of the way with the fine tuner. So you get it close with the peg, pressing in as you go, checking with your tuner as you go, and then you tune it the rest of the way with the fine tuner. And as we mentioned before, if you don't have a smartphone or a tablet, then you can also tune using a web page, and the name of the web page is tuner-online.com. And let's take a quick look at that right now. Okay, this is a web page called tuner-online.com. And then if you look at the page that comes up, you'll see the big guitar fingerboard. Don't worry about that. The tuner will work for any instrument because it's what's called a chromatic tuner. It will tune any note. So the only thing I have to do to get this started is click right here where it says turn on the tuner. Now I'm turning that on. Now a little message comes up and says allow Tuner Online to use your microphone. I'm going to go allow, and now it says play. It's ready to go. So now if I'm going to zoom in on that, and as I'm talking, you see it's trying to tune my voice. When I sing a note, la, it actually tells me that that's an E. La tells me that's a G. So this is the way you can tune your instrument. The needle will be in the center if you get the note in tune. Okay, let's review what we learned about tuning the cello. The app I'm using is called Piano Tuner, but all the other apps work pretty much the same way. And as you can see, it's madly trying to tune my voice right now, but when I play a single note, a single open A string, using my bow and making a very long, smooth tone, you can see that the tuner settles down and it tells me whether the note is sharp or flat. Is it sharp or flat? If you said sharp, you are correct. Now I'm going to move the tuner. I'm going to move it this way to make it go down in pitch. If you're not sure which way to turn the tuner, just tune it a little bit, turn it a little bit, and see if you're closer or further away from your instrument being in tune. That's closer. The center line is closer to the letter A, or I should say that the letter A is closer to being centered over the center line. So I need to go down a little bit more. I'm going to turn it this way again. Almost there. I just need to turn a little bit. That's pretty close. It's pretty much in the center. Let's switch to the A string, or the D string now. Is that flat or sharp? If you said flat, you are correct. I'm going to turn it this way to make it sharper. Getting closer. Again, don't worry about if you're turning the tuner the wrong way or not. Just after you've turned it, check and see if your string is closer to being tuned or further away from being in tune. Getting very close to being in tune. I just need to turn it a little bit now. I think we're pretty much in tune. So let's check the G string. Sharp or flat? It is sharp. I'm going to turn it this way. Getting closer. Just about there. Actually, that's close enough. So now let's switch over to the C string. It's a little bit flat. So let's turn it up this way. Go this way with the tuner. A little more. I think we're just about there. So I hope you learned a lot from this video, and give tuning your instrument a try. And if you have any questions, contact your teacher. And in the meantime, happy tuning.